Here's your WNEM TV5 News Update.
Good evening, I'm Chet Davis, and here are the top stories we're following tonight. A Flint man killed in a freak accident last night. State police say it happened on southbound US 23 at the Northfield rest area near Brighton around 6:45. They say a Western Star dump truck popped a tire, causing the 47-year-old Flint man to lose control, run off the road, and hit a tree. The driver was pronounced dead at the scene. Today marks a very important day for Michigan veterans. A group of 77 Korean and Vietnam War vets are touring Washington, D.C. as part of a program known as the Mid-Michigan Honor Flight.
I really feel honored to be chosen for the Michigan Honor Flight. It gives me a chance to meet a lot of veterans from the state of Michigan. I spent 23 years in the Air Force and retired. I am a Vietnam and Korean veteran. I was in both countries, both wars.
After landing, the first stop was in Baltimore at Fort McHenry. The group also toured the National Army Museum in Fort Belvoir, Virginia. Attorney General Dana Nessel is joining a bipartisan effort to protect veterans' education benefits. Nessel, along with 51 other attorneys general, are fighting to ensure military veterans and their families receive their full benefits from the GI Bill. The case, Yoon v. Collins, centers on an Army veteran who served for nearly 24 years, including deployments to Iraq, Afghanistan, and Kosovo. Court documents claim Veterans Affairs continues to deny his full GI Bill education benefits and has blocked him from transferring those benefits to his daughter. Now here's Chris with your first alert forecast.
Chet, we do expect the possibility of severe weather on Wednesday. However, not to get lost in that, we also have a risk for some heavy rainfall on Wednesday. The areas shaded in yellow have the highest risk for some localized flash flooding. Doesn't necessarily mean everybody will see flooding, but it's something to be aware of as these storms will be working with plenty of humidity, and it looks like they'll have the potential to produce some good downpours as they move through. As for the rainfall projections, we're turning the specific plots off tonight and just giving you the colors here just to show you some of the random nature of the placement. Use this more as a general guide to show that some areas will get hit harder than others, not necessarily exact amounts. What defines excessive rainfall? There will likely be some areas that could pick up an inch or more of rain in a short amount of time. Severe weather outlook looks like it extends up north of US 10 now to Clare County, Gladwin, and portions of Aranac County. It extends just to the south and west like it did yesterday. The enhanced risk is up to about Lansing or so and is getting closer to Shiawassee County. I would not be shocked to see part of that enhanced risk area moved into mid-Michigan for tomorrow. Wouldn't necessarily call it a guarantee, but I don't think it's off the table. Your TV5 First Alert Pinpoint Doppler radar shows we do have a shower that's out over Lake Huron now that shows that we may see an isolated shower or storm initially this evening. I would expect most of the night to be dry. Most of the activity is off to our west where the severe threat is today. That will be shifting a little bit farther to the east, of course, tomorrow. As we go through tonight, not out of the question, we see some isolated rain here and there through the morning hours of Wednesday. Also, we would expect anything prior to about lunchtime would not be severe, would have the potential for some downpours just because of the excessive amounts of humidity. But also we expect more of a threat from 12 to 9 tomorrow. I do also think that areas north of I-69 and around US 10 need to be mindful of anything that develops early in the afternoon along a warm front, as those storms could be closer to a wind shift, which could lead to more turning in the storm, which could lead to an isolated tornado threat. That's something that I think we'll have to watch closely. That part of the event a little bit more uncertain than the second part. We eventually expect one of these linear structures to move through once we get to 5 o'clock or so, give or take a few hours, just based on some of these severe events and how the time frame can shift. That is more likely a severe wind threat when that comes through, but we do have to watch for little notches along the line where there might be some slight areas of rotation that could lead to brief spin ups. So we'll watch that closely as well. Anything that develops behind the line will likely not be severe. So we do expect as we go into the evening, later into the evening tomorrow, that our threat for severe weather will start to drop off the closer we get to 10, 11, and 12 o'clock. The tornado outlook for tomorrow does feature a 5% risk area area in parts of the TV5 viewing area and southern lower Michigan. That area shaded in brown lines up with the area that we were just talking about early in the afternoon that may have the potential for some rotating storms. So we'll watch that again very closely once we get to the afternoon. Your TV5 First Alert 7-day forecast, it does show that we expect temperatures to warm up significantly going into the end of the weekend and also next week. We'll likely have some humidity to go along with it, so there will likely be some heat index values that are close to 95 and may even reach close to 100.
Remember to tune into WNEM TV5 on air and online 24/7 for the latest news, weather, and information.